the land where rivers are personified, the land where values are worshipped, the land where diversity creates a beautiful rainbow. India is the land of Manu, Chanakya, Kabir, Kalidas, and Mahatma Gandhi. Respected judges and my dear friends, I, Angela Celestine, extend my warm greetings to you. Today I feel privileged to be here and speak on a significant topic, patriotism and nation building. When Rani Lakshmi Bai, Mangal Pandey, Mahatma Gandhi, Bhagat Singh, Subhash Chandra Bose and several other freedom fighters dedicated their lives for our country, that was the display of patriotism. When our soldiers stand on Indian borders, irrespective of weather, that is the display of patriotism. So, aren't we patriots? Of course we are. The feeling of love for our country and being proud of it is what we call patriotism. But is love enough for being a patriot? Not really, my dear friends. When your love is transformed into actions for doing the best for your nation, at that moment you are a true patriot. Every time you pay your tax, follow governmental rules, educate the masses, raise your voice against injustice, you display the patriotism in truest sense. Even during COVID times, if you followed COVID-19 protocols, you are a true patriot. So now we can say we don't have to be a soldier to be a true patriot. Just by following the basic citizens' duties, we can be called as a real patriot. Well, that's right. Now coming to the concept of nation building. In 1947, we attained independence from the British government. At that time, our nation was into fragments. It was vulnerable, weak, and floated in poverty. At that time, the biggest challenge our lawmakers faced was to prepare a strong constitution to give direction to help our government run the country in a systematic manner. Our then Prime Minister, Mr. Jawaharlal Nehru, came up with different social welfare schemes and adopted 5-year plans for economic and social development of our country. With each policy as a brick, our leaders were building the nation called a unified India. Centuries ago, in 1200 BCE, an Indian thinker Manu gave the concept of dharma of the king, where he advised the king to bring maximum welfare to his subjects, develop economy, and maintain good relations with the neighboring states. Through this, the king could bring prosperity to his territory. So nation building is the work of government, right? Wrong. The responsibility of nation building is shared equally by the state authorities and its citizens. We all citizens contribute in nation building. Each scientist, economist, agriculturist, student, rickshaw puller, street vendors, everyone who brings prosperity to our country gives his hands for nation building. By now, a question may be arising in your mind that are patriotism and nation building the same thing? I mean, both looks a really close concept. Well, both nation building and patriotism are really close in their meanings, but certainly they are not one and the same. If nation building is the goal, then patriotism is the means to achieve it. If you don't love your country enough, you won't feel motivated enough to give your best for making your country a developed country. So, in a nutshell, we can emphasize that there is a deep relation between patriotism and nation building. India is a land of diversity. Do you think managing a country having such a huge population of 138 crores belonging to different religions, language and cultures is a piece of cake? Well, certainly not. So let's now try to understand the challenges before and in the concept of patriotism and nation building. Challenge number 1, illusioned patriotism. India is a young nation. Our youth is a powerhouse of energy. This is an asset as well as a risk depending upon the circumstances. Extremism in patriotism is what I call illusioned patriotism. This happens when the mindset of youth is transferred and directed towards harming the people belonging to different ideologies in the name of patriotism. This becomes actually an alarming situation. Challenge number 2, regionalism. If you have watched the iconic movie Chak De India, you may remember well the scene where Coach Kabir emphasizes before the girl hockey players that they are first Indians and they are playing for India rather than their respective states. So, regionalism is the concept when a citizen feels extreme love for his region instead of the country. This leads to the raising of demand of separation from the country. Challenge number 3, the situation of women. From the time immemorial, women in India is being worshipped as goddess. But when it comes to their development, education, jobs, our fellow citizens become hesitant. We need to understand very clearly that no nation can progress without equal contribution from each and every citizen of the country. So we cannot just drop the idea of involving women in each aspect of our nation's development. Challenge number 4, communalism. When people feel a strong sense of attachment to their own community and cannot think beyond their own specific religion, then this gives birth to communalism and poses a threat to patriotism and nation building. Aren't we also facing the problem of communalism? Think about it. Challenge number 5, poverty. Poverty is the sole creator of innumerable social problems. If a person is poor, his mind and energy is diverted into destructive activities. He may join terrorist groups, Naxalites, and may try to incite violence and riots. This plays a pivotal role in damaging the country. Right. So now we have seen that concepts of patriotism and nation building is not as easy as they seem. Let's try to talk about solutions then. Solution number 1, patriotic or Deshbhakti curriculum in schools. This idea is actually given by the Delhi government where Deshbhakti curriculum would be introduced for classes 9th to 12th. This will ensure true patriotic feelings among the young people. Isn't it interesting? Solution number 2, bringing younger minds towards agriculture. Agriculture continues to be burdened with huge losses in India. The sole reason for this is lack of innovation and lack of interest of our youth in this field. Such incentives should be given that the youth start considering agriculture as a profitable business leading directly to the nation building. Solution number 3, women's participation in nation building should be increased by increasing their share in politics. Come on, let's change the outdated notion of a woman cannot be a leader. Solution number 4, togetherness. A nation can be developed only when all its citizens come together and work for a common goal. At school, we used to take pledge beginning with the words, India is my country, all Indians are my brothers and sisters. So why after being an adult we have forgotten these values? When we say we love our country, what do we mean exactly? Loving just the geographical location or loving its people too? It is we the people of India who makes the United Nation called India. I would like to come to the conclusion by quoting few lines. बस ये बात तुम्हें बतानी है, ये देश नहीं केवल हवा, ज़मीन और पानी है, हम इस वतन से हैं, ये वतन भी हमसे है। आओ मिलकर बनाए एक सुनहरा आज और कल। मंत्र है ये मंत्र है, तुम सुन लो, इस मंत्र से ही होगा हमारा देश सफल। थैंक यू, जय हिंद।